Okay, this is Sarah, and I am back with a little known fact story that I hope you enjoy. Real talk. Have you ever picked up your phone to read a text and had to hold it at arm's length just to make out the words? Or sat down at a restaurant, opened the menu, and squinted so hard you practically gave yourself a headache trying to figure out what you were ordering? If you are nodding right now, I want you to know that you have something in common with one of the most brilliant men who ever lived. And in 1785, that brilliant man got so fed up with squinting at dinner that he invented something that now sits on the face of more than 150 million Americans every single day. Stay right here with me because this story is pure joy from beginning to end. By May 23rd, 1785, Benjamin Franklin is 79 years old and living in Paris, France, serving as the United States Minister to France. Which sounds extraordinarily grand, and it was. But it also meant that Franklin was spending many evenings at elegant French dinner parties, surrounded by diplomats, philosophers, and artists, trying to hold intelligent conversations while constantly juggling two pairs of glasses. One pair for seeing across the room, one pair for reading. Switch them out every time you want to look at the person speaking to you across the table, then switch again to look down at your dinner plate, then switch back when someone new walks in. All evening long, every single evening. Now, I want you to picture the most famous, most celebrated American in all of Europe, the man who had charmed an entire continent, the man who had helped birth a nation, sitting at a glittering Paris dinner party playing a maddening game of glasses shuffle. Because that is exactly what was happening. And Benjamin Franklin had had absolutely enough. Now, here's the thing about Benjamin Franklin that I want you to understand, because it is the whole heart of this story. Most people, when faced with an inconvenience, complain about it. Maybe they grumble to a friend, maybe they just live with it. Franklin did neither. Franklin fixed it. His solution was so elegant and so obvious in hindsight that it almost feels unfair. He went to his optician and said, in effect, cut both lenses in half and put them together in a single frame. Distance lens on top, for looking out across the room. Reading lens on the bottom, for looking down at the page. One pair of glasses, two problems, completely solved. He called them double spectacles. We call them bifocals. And on May 23rd, 1785, Franklin described his invention in a letter to his dear friend George Whatley, writing about his new glasses with the quiet, warm pride of a man who had just made his dinner parties significantly more enjoyable. He noted that he was very happy with them, and that they saved him the embarrassment of not being able to see the faces of people speaking to him from across the table. I love that. He was not trying to make history. He was trying to see his friends clearly at dinner. And in doing so, he gave a gift to every human being who has ever struggled to see the world around them. Here's the part that makes me love Benjamin Franklin completely and without reservation. He never patented bifocals. He never patented the lightning rod. He never patented the Franklin stove, or his glass harmonica, or swim fins, or any of the other extraordinary things his mind produced, not a single one. Franklin believed in his bones that useful discoveries belonged to everyone. He wrote that since we benefit so greatly from the inventions of others, we should be glad of the opportunity to serve others by sharing our own. He was 79 years old, living in a foreign country, reinventing the eyeglass, and giving it away for free. Just a quiet Tuesday in the life of Benjamin Franklin. Today, more than 150 million Americans wear some form of corrective lenses. 150 million people reading their books, driving their cars, seeing the faces of the people they love clearly across the dinner table, because a 79-year-old man in Paris got frustrated and decided to do something about it. The next time you reach for your glasses first thing in the morning, you are touching a 240-year-old idea from the most curious, most generous, most joyfully unstoppable mind in American history. Not bad for a man who was the 15th child of a candlemaker and never finished high school. You know what I think about every single time I tell a story like this one? Benjamin Franklin never stopped being curious. At 79, in a foreign city, surrounded by some of the greatest minds in the world, he was still tinkering, still asking, what if? Still looking for a better way to do something that everyone else had simply accepted as a frustrating fact of life. He did not slow down. He did not decide that he was too old, too tired, or too important to solve a small problem. He just kept going, kept noticing, kept caring. And that makes me think about you. Because curiosity has no expiration date, and neither do the stories you are carrying around inside you right now. The ones about how your family got here, the things you figured out the hard way, the moments that changed everything, the memories that still make you laugh until you cannot breathe. Have you ever thought about writing those stories down? Not for a publisher, not for anyone outside your own front door. Just for the people you love most in this world. Because I promise you, your children and your grandchildren will want to know what your life felt like. What did you notice? What you invented in your own quiet way. What you did when things got hard and how you kept going anyway. Those are the stories that only you can tell. And they are far more valuable than you probably realize right now. Do not let them disappear. Do not let them get lost in the business of ordinary days. That is exactly why I want you to grab the free family story writing guide waiting for you right below this video. It is warm, simple, and it will help you take that very first step toward telling the stories that matter most. It costs you nothing. It could mean absolutely everything to someone you have not even met yet. And while you are down there, please hit that subscribe button and join our History Sparks family. Every single day, I bring you a story that is surprising, human, and real. Stories that remind you that the most extraordinary people in history were simply ordinary people who refused to stop caring about the world around them. Just like Franklin, just like you. I will see you tomorrow, and trust me, you do not want to miss what is coming.